I've always felt that my role is really just to try to do my best in making the music and making records and performing. And you know, it was a gift to have had the kind of success that I had with the first record, because it gave me a lot of creative freedom. I don't really look to compare the record I'm working on currently with anything that I've done in the past. So I think I'm, for the most part, always forward-looking in that regard. There's really not much you can do to, I think, to determine what people will like. I never really concern myself with the way that other people perceive me, because there's nothing I can do about it. I don't look at the charts and I don't look at reviews. My hope is that the record will have a chance to reach the people who are interested in hearing the music. And that's one reason I go out on tour and do interviews and all that sort of thing. But it's really just about having a chance to share the music. I love making music, and I'm thrilled that there are people who love to hear me make music. So I'm always hoping that people will approach them from their own perspective. And I feel like as a songwriter, once I've written it, there's really nothing I can do in terms of giving people direction about how they should, you know, interpret the song, or how the song should have meaning for them. You can express an idea by telling someone what you want to say, telling them how you want them to feel, or you can describe it. I do think that the ideas that come up in my songs are important, you know, and it's clearly just my own opinion and my own values, but people did have more understanding for other people and more respect and a sense of trying to preserve some of the really wonderful things about this world, you know, our natural resources, and simply take a look around them and see that in some ways the world is really falling apart, and that we're the ones that are responsible for that, you know, be a much better place for everybody. If I wanted, I could probably adopt this kind of showbiz kind of attitude, you know, and just like, well, I know the person that people see up there performing is, that's me, and that's Tracy Chapman when I'm walking down the street, when I'm at home, you know, and it's not that I'm necessarily nervous about performing, because I really love playing my music, and I guess part of what I do, I'm always really playing for myself, very critical of what I do, and I'm always trying to get back to whatever feelings inspired, you know, the song that I'm singing at the time. So it always means something for me, and you know, it's wonderful to be able to share something like that with other people. I don't do it because I see myself as a protest singer or anything like that. I do it because these are the things that matter to me. I just feel that we all have a role to play in trying to make the world better. And I have a chance to do that through my music. All the songs I write from personal experience or from the experiences of other people that have touched my life. I guess I have a tendency to approach a song either from intellectual or emotional standpoint, and so a lot of my songs, or if you categorize topics, I have political songs and I have love songs, and then I have songs that are simply about people's lives, you know, everyday things that people go through and work, dealing with growing up, things of that sort. Music is just so fluid, and culture is so fluid, that a lot of the categories that people come up with, I think, are really irrelevant, because there are no strict boundaries. There was a time, I think, when you could say that there were, because there were regional boundaries and people didn't travel as much, and there wasn't quite as much media in our lives that made it so that we could be exposed to lots of different things in a fairly short amount of time. But I'm just simply expressing myself through music, and it's a reflection of some of the things that I think about and some things that are of concern to me. A lot of the songs on the first record and the songs that I continue to write now are part of reflection of my own experiences and or the experiences of people who've been a part of my life. So it's not about necessarily making a political statement, but just about talking about life as I've seen it.
I definitely think that, you know, musicians have a very special place in society, and that they communicate to people and can educate people, and I think there's always, you know, time for change, because there's always a way to make something better. You know, I think that generally people live very passive lives, as I see it, and you know, people just need to wake up and look around them and deal with some of the things that they try to ignore, and maybe if they made some steps to make some changes, then things would get better.
We miss the opportunity to truly see people and to engage with people in a honest way, in a way that does afford them the dignity and the respect and humanity that they deserve.
You know, we have this world that supports and sustains us. It has everything that we need for life. And all we really need to do is care for it, and it will continue to care for us. And also I think we all have the possibility or the capacity within ourselves to treat each other better than we do. I think we think many things are out of our control, but they're not. And I guess I know I'm here right now, and I know I want to make the best of...
on this planet.
Right. So I want to make the best of what I can of this life. Music is very powerful, and it does have the ability to inspire people, to motivate people, to educate people. For all those reasons, it can be used in a social or a political context. But ultimately, I think people make changes. You know, the music may be a vehicle.
It's people that make the changes. You know, the music itself can be a catalyst. It can be provocative. It can be educational. But ultimately, it's what people do with all the feelings and thoughts that they have that make changes in the world.
You know, there are people who, no matter what the cost personally, they're willing to lay their lives on the line. And so when I think about what my grandparents probably endured, I feel like I have no right to despair in this moment.
Sometimes, for any number of reasons, it's difficult to think about adjusting your life, even though you know that you need to, you know, to kind of shift your priorities, realizing that, you know, every day is a special day, and we have an opportunity to make it the best that we can, and how do you keep that in your mind with everything that you do? And then I guess the great thing about singing a song like that for other people is that sometimes they hear it and they identify with it and feel like it resonates with them and with what they're going through in their own lives. The idea that we all have an opportunity to recreate our lives and to recreate this world, hopefully in a better shape and form.
We all have agency of some kind. You know, we may not have as much power as we would like to, but I think that there's definitely power in political movements and personal power that I don't even know how people muster it.
Yeah, I think also just as you get older, you get a better sense of yourself and what it is you want and what you need to do in your life to make things happen.